Hey, this is Mark the Meerkat from Grok Trade with the trade of the day. This is from the Grok day trading chat room this morning, and it was on NIO. And here it was just after opening. It ran up, dropped all the way here. This was to end up being a double bottom here and reversing, just kept climbing. I missed as it was basing here under the 200 moving average. These are 1 minute candles, by the way. Right there, it broke out and missed that one. Then it was high basing again, missed it a second time. Now it was basing right up here around this what's called the R2 pivot line at around 37.90. So I set my trade up here just above that area. If it were to break out, I wanted to be long or buy it, right? So let's see what happened next, and boom, there I am. I'm now in at the 37.98. 37.98. I'm long on NIO. Now what I have here is this red line here. It's an attached stop at exactly 1% behind. Wherever I got in, exactly 1% behind is an activated stop. So I'm going to pull that up here just to reduce my risk a little bit here, right where this came down here to 37.69, just slightly less than 1%. But we got to give it a little bit of room to pull back and then run. That's how you let your winners run here. We don't want to cut the trade off too soon. So let's pull it down and see what happened next. And it's starting to take, just basing here at this 39.20, and now it's pulling back. Well, now it was time for me to take a little bit of a break. And so I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set my stop up here just under this pivot line here. It was resistance area. It could now be support. So I set it at 37.76 was my stop, that red line there. And I went and I took a break here. I went and got some coffee and was working. And when I came back, look at that. It tagged it, that line right there. It tagged it and then took off again. Not only did it take off again, as I came back from having my break, look at the volume that came in as it was running up here. So cool. Okay, my stop, I still had about 0.5% at risk in this trade. Now I'm bringing it up here to break even. Break even stop now here, just under $38 for my NIO stock. And now let's see if it has any hits any resistance up here as it's breaking out. And sure enough, right at 38.50, it's stalled right there. So I had a half trade, half order already set up to sell half of it. So I did at $38.47 for 1.3% on the first half. Then I changed the number of shares in my stop and I brought it up here by the 20 moving average here at 38.13 in the money as well. So I have a guaranteed income trade, zero risk going on, and look at the volume is starting to deplete down here. That's more of a sign of a pullback than it is a reversal. And let's see if that trend continues. And sure enough, as it basing here, just pulling back gently, look at the volume pulling back. Now these lines are from when I originally traded it this morning as I was calling things out for myself as well as for others in the chat room. So it came right back to this 8 EMA here, and then let's see if it rolls up from there. And again, volume is telling me that, oh, look at that, boom, it just took off there right from that line. And look at the volume, it increased when it went up. That's good news. That's more bullish than it is bearish. So I'm going to follow this 20 moving average up here as it's starting to break out. Now let's pull this down just a little bit more and see where we go from here. And look at that, now it's basing up here just under, here's 39 even dollar amount. It was basing here at 38.80, and so I'm going to reduce my risk up here. I'm going to bring it up here to, I'm going to bring it up here to 38.62. 38.62 is my in the money stop, just below this line of support here for this base as it started to break above it. And let's see what happened next here. And then it came down to the 8 EMA. Just broke that a little bit. Bam, look at that. Bam. Now my stop was at 38.62, but I got filled at my stop at 38.58. 38.58 was my fill for 1.6% on the second half. So let's take a look at this entire trade. Again, it was a high base breakout, and then it was basing here. And I brought my stop, I reduced my risk, my stop, couldn't get it all the way to break even yet. And while I was on break, it did tag this pivot line and then take off again, and then just managed my stop from there. When it stalled, it took out half, managed my stop, and as soon as it broke down, and look at the volume when it broke down, boom, over 1 million shares when it broke down on that big candle. I was out for a total trade of 1.4% in 35 minutes. So in the model portfolio in the Grok day trading chat room, which is that you invest $10,000 per trade, and then you have that 1% attached stop, risking $100 per trade. But then for each 1% you make, that would be $100. So we made about $140 on this one trade. Now this one trade was just one of 13 trades that we had today. If you'd like to see what we did in the day trading room this morning, here it was. And again, it was the day after the election here. I was just telling people, careful, careful, careful. Trade what you see, not what you think or feel about the elections. Because if you are an emotional trader, and again, whether you're happy or sad about what's happening with this indecision in the presidential election right now, doesn't matter. Trade what you see. Be now in the moment and what the chart is telling you to do. So that's what we did. And now here, this was trade number 11 here on NIO that I just went over for 1.4%. And again, we had 13 trades. It kept stopping out on me here, minus 0.7, minus 0.7. Again, I have 1% attached stop, so I was able to reduce my losses. And then I did have a 3% trade here on Lyft. Man, Lyft took off because of the proposal in California that did not pass. And Lyft, along with Uber, were big ups today. And so we were just following it. And actually, that was a short trade that I got on because it kept falling because it was too exuberant for it. So here our statistics for today was 8 out of 13 for 61% success rate. Our target is 60. That means 6 out of 10 trades we want to make money. That's the key principle. And the second key principle is that we want to cut our losers short and let our winners run. In that, when we have an expense trade, we want that to be smaller than our income trades. That's statistically will guarantee us to have a steady income over time. So our actual reward risk ratio is how we measure that. 1.6 to 1 actual reward risk ratio is our target. 2 to 1 is our stretch goal. We were at 2.06 to 1. So at just over 60% success rate and 2%, we pulled in 7.4% today. That's about $740 here today net in the first 2 hours of the trading today. And how we've been doing this week? Well, we've been near our stretch goal here. We were at 9% on Monday, 4% yesterday, and 7% today. So 21% so far this week, with a target of 25% net for the week. Again, that's not on our portfolio. Again, that's on how much you're putting at risk. And that would be 5% per day times 5, right? So we're at 21% already, and we have 2 more days to trade. Wow, if we just get 4% net over the next 2 days, we'll be at least at our target and heading towards our stretch. So this is Mark the Meerkat. If you'd like to trade with us in the Grok Day Trading Chat Room, I'd just like you to go to groktrade.com, and right up here it says to the Day Trading Chat Room. And here you can read. I got my second quarter result, first half a year results here. You can take a look at a video about that after I do a quick trade for you. And you can read about it here. And what do we do? Now again, this is New York time, Eastern time. We're now on standard time here in New York. And so from 9 o'clock we start preparing. We go through the 7,500 stocks and ETFs to narrow our search down to the 6 to 10 that we're going to really focus on as the market opens. And then by noon we're finished, usually by about 11:30 Eastern time. So for about 2 hours we're trading the markets live. I'm calling out trades and I'm telling you exactly where my stops are, just like these videos. And I'm telling you where my stop is and why I'm putting it there, so you can learn along the way. And there's other people in the chat room that are spotting trades that are moving now and that are set up for high probability entries. So again, lots to read about here, lots to read about. And if you'd like to hear more about it, we do have a free webinar here on how to win at day trading. Right here, you can click and sign up for that. And if not, you can just go ahead and you want to join us for a 7-day 5 trading day free trial, a risk-free trial I should say. And that is, try us for 5 trading days. Hey, if it doesn't work for you, that's fine. If it does, then you can continue on either on a monthly basis. We have a monthly fee, or you can do an annual one, which we can give you a special rate for going annual. So again, come try us out, see if it works for you. But that's if you can be in front of the markets from 9 o'clock until about noon each day. That's Eastern time. Now we have people from 6 different countries trading with us, from 8 different time zones, I think it is. So yeah, we've got a wide variety of people, and where it is in their day when they're actually trading with us. So this is Mark the Meerkat. Hey, just remember that you need to trade what you see, not what you think or feel, especially about what's happening with the election. And when you start to think about it, bad things start to happen. Trade well, and may your winners run.